And on this episode of Do You Have No Other Properties to Work On? We have this from Fictional Horizon, Star Trek movie franchise to be rebooted, Simon Kingberg in talks to produce. I wonder this for a second. Are these studios, is this the only product that they have to work with? You guys have ruined Star Trek for the past few years with all your shows and your weird side story crap and your comic books and everything. The movies haven't really been that great. Let's just be clear about that. The J.J. Abrams movies, the first one, it was okay. I liked Into Darkness. That was probably my favorite one. Very action-packed, but when you sit down and you think about the movie, it really didn't make much sense at all. But you had at the end, we have created Superblood that could essentially bring people back from the dead. Why is the entire crew not equipped with these machines, almost like the diabetic insulin thing, where it just keeps shooting in super blood inside of you? You have essentially cured death entirely in the Star Trek universe by having Khan's super blood that could bring Kirk back from the dead. Then you had the next one, Beyond, and that was okay. I really didn't care that much about it. That scene with the song playing and it killed all the drones, that was pretty awesome. But besides that, I don't know, man. It was a waste of time movie. So then, of course, you made your TV shows, your Discovery, your Picard, all your weird cartoon Lower Deck stuff. Man, you know, it's kind of crazy, though. The Orville did a better job of making a Star Trek show than the actual people that have the rights to the Star Trek IP. If you ever get a chance to watch The Orville, it's a fantastic show. It has everything. It has action, it has drama, it has comedy, it has heartfelt moments. It does a lot of great things. Dare I say, The Orville might be better than any Star Trek product that has come out in over the past 15 years, I would say. I would say that was better than the J.J. Abrams original one, and all the shows, and Picard and everything like that. So now we're talking about rebooting the Star Trek franchise. Okay, well, what evidence shows that you guys could actually do a good job on this? What have you people done over the past few years? You have done everything in your power to torpedo this franchise. Paramount is one of the worst companies on the face of the planet. Dare I say, I think they might be worse than Disney at this point. At least with Disney, there's so much clickbait stuff. There's all these new things coming out that I could talk about. Paramount is just abysmal product after abysmal product, and they're not even remotely enjoyable to hate watch. They're just mind-numbingly terrible these days. So now you're going to do Star Trek again. Did you sell the rights? That was a rumor I read a while back, though, that they were selling the rights to another company. Have no idea if that deal went through, but that really shows you the state of Paramount when they have to sell off their biggest IP. And now the biggest problem of this. Simon Kingberg is in talks to produce this, I guess, new franchise going forward. Let's take a quick look at Simon Kingberg's filmography. He did XXX State of the Union. That is not a good sign at all. Mr. and Mrs. Smith the movie. Fantastic job. Love that movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. X-Men 3 The Last Stand. One would argue that was definitely the worst of the X-Men movies back then. Jumper, I might be the only one in the universe that actually likes Jumper. Yes, I can acknowledge that it's not that great of a movie at times though, but dare I say, I might actually enjoy that movie. Sherlock Holmes, not a bad movie at all. X-Men First Class, not a bad movie. This Means War, no one cared about that one. Elysium, again, I'm the only person in the world that has ever said I liked Elysium. I find that so odd. Days of Future Past, not a bad movie. Let's Be Cops, take it or leave it. The new Fantastic Four movie. This is where things get weird with this man. Because a lot of his stuff is really, really hit or miss. He's apparently one of the writers for the Fantastic Four movie. And he produced it too. The newer one, with Black Human Torch. This guy did that movie. And yet somehow he did Sherlock Holmes and Mr. and Mrs. Smith? How does that happen? He did the remake of Cinderella. Not a bad movie at all. Chappy garbage. The Martian. How do you do the Fantastic Four and also The Martian? It's weird filmography. Then you got Deadpool, great movie, and then right after X-Men Apocalypse. This guy is essentially involved in essentially all of the Sony X-Men MCU stuff at that time, though. So you go from X-Men Apocalypse to Logan? How? The jumps are so weird. Then, of course, Murder on the Orient. Who the hell saw that one? Deadpool 2, not as good as Deadpool 1. Dark Phoenix, terrible movie. The New Mutants, terrible movie. The 355, never heard of that. All-female cast, probably a garbage product. Haunted in Venice, box office flop. So this guy, his stuff is hit or miss. It's either it hits very, very, very well, or it misses the entire target. Beyond the target. You're shooting your grandmother at this point, though. So when I see that this guy is involved in this, he has no consistency at all. Like, you take a guy like Christopher Nolan, yes, Tenet didn't make money. Okay, that's great, though. Christopher Nolan is a damn good director and writer. It is very hard to say that Christopher Nolan has more bad things than good things. The guy's mostly winning. Martin Scorsese, yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon was unbearable to watch, terrible garbage movie, but for the bulk of his career, iconic. This guy here, the best thing he did, I would say, is The Martian and Logan. Those were great products, but then there's so much bad stuff going on here. So many things that miss hysterically. So no, I don't think this is going to be good. No, I don't think that Simon Kingberg is going to be the showrunner to save Star Trek, and more importantly, bring it into the future of its former glory. But in the end, what do you guys think about that?